Right. We are live, and we took a week off from Rimeport, but we are now back for great glory. So, when we left off, you had all been in this rather delightful sous-sol, I suppose you could call it, with a terrific scope for renovation. And you had been chatting to the acolytes from the Glacis School and getting on with them rather better than you'd expected initially, I get the impression. Not shooting them in the kneecaps. Indeed. And you have since... Oh, why is it showing that? Never mind, I shall make other things happen instead. Roll20's fog of war handling is, as we all know, still wobbly. Yes. An excellent plan. Precisely so. Well, bear in mind, she'd been off over in this corner, taking a look. Now, Thaddeus, I would like you, if you would, to make a perception roll. He can, and you cannot. So, Thaddeus, you hear a little sound from behind you by this door. Yes. And in the sort of gap of the door that's standing ajar, what does he see, Layla? She's looking for the unmute button. And with that, we're going to flash back a little while. Because now, Layla, if you pan across a little bit, I'm going to enable vision. My connection to the server has been interrupted. That can only bode well. Hang on, just need to see why it's not outputting sound. Zastai, thanks for the heads up. Can you hear them now? Resto, you say something?
Something.
Something?
Hello?
I wandered lonely as a cloud. That apparently isn't a thunderstorm.
Really sorry about the printer. This is what I get for trying to be productive.
Yes, sounds rather silly of you.
Well, my brain went, it'll be about like 20 minutes or so until I'm introduced. That's fine.
And there's where you went wrong.
Alas, I forgot who was GMing.
Yep.
And Zastai says he now can hear everything and
Huzzah!
thinks that Jan has been smoking weed and is puffing out clouds or something. Everyone needs a hobby.
Quiet.
Okay.
Quiet.
Smoke starts my asthma off, but what the hey?
The confusion is spreading.
Aye.
Yes.
My work here is done.
Now then, Layla, you
Yes.
are in a deep, dark corridor.
I can see.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well,
You've
I can't
just
see,
come-
but
well,
you know.
you can't see much. You should be able to see a little bit.
Yes,
Scroll.
I can see up the corridor
Yes.
and the edge of a door or something of that ilk.
The edge of the staircase you've just come down.
Oh, staircase. Right.
And just tell us briefly why you've come down the staircase in the old abandoned abbey.
Yeah.
Curiosity made me do it.
Pretty much. I'm friends with the old abbot, and he asked me to have a look around and give him a hand. So, and I wandered,
That's your story.
And then
and
in
you're
I got
sticking to it.
and then in I got stuck.
It
and
has
I've been
been
stuck
abandoned
for a
for a
while
couple
now.
of 100 years.
Well, I could be a couple of 100 years old, to be fair. You should know better than to ask a lady's age.
Oh, Torak, you didn't.
I didn't.
I'm impressed she's still alive, though.
Well, no. Who's in charge of the... Has anyone been roused? Someone asked me to go poke around in it for something.
The abbey has been abandoned for several hundred years. It's currently got an archaeological dig, slightly covert but not very, by something called the Glacis School. But they hadn't discovered these stairs.
Oh, well, I can answer that question. I fell down a big hole. A really big hole. I was helping them dig because they were asking for local help to speed things up, and given that I have a shovel and some muscles, I thought, you know what, it'll occupy my time for a while. And so there was I digging this hole, and then all of a sudden I was down the hole and in here.
Well,
I'd like to leave.
in that case, you've probably fallen down further up the corridor where it's a bit closer to the trench.
Oh no, not in the sewer. Please, not the sewer.
No.
Oh, good.
The tunnel actually does go directly below the trench.
Phew.
And if you look closely at the map, you'll see that there is actually a line of slightly different coloured grass going across the courtyard to show the tunnel beneath.
Because if you say so.
I do say so. Because
We're
I have
underneath, so we
planned
don't.
it.
It all looks sort of brown from this angle.
Mm.
Yeah, so basically, I'm here by accident.
We all.
We can definitely empathise. I'm not totally sure why we're here.
To be fair, it's the most plausible situation that I can think of, given that the two people that were meant to be joining me are no longer here. So,
So you got there for your usual shift, and you were a bit surprised that nobody seemed to be up at the dig. Normally you'd expect at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 people up by the trench, but you knuckled down to work as usual, and you got to a sort of stone floor. Now, normally, of course, you know that you should tell the dig supervisor so it could all be documented, but really, what harm was there in pulling out a couple of cobbles?
Hee
Right?
Aye!
And, yeah, you see a hint of light from up ahead.
I wander towards it. Going, hello!
I'm
Hello!
fine. I haven't hurt myself.
It's a bit dark down here. Is anyone?
You see a lit candlestick and a door.
I try the. Does the door have a handle?
The door is open, and
Door is
from the
open.
other side there is a potent whiff.
God, blimey! So someone come and died down here. I take the candle,
Funny you should
and
say
preferably the whole candlestick.
Okay, then I shall update your illumination settings.
that. Dun, dun, dun.
As I rummage in this box of shiny things currently available to me.
So you find yourself on a ledge above a sewer.
Oh, that'd be why it stinks then.
I mean, it's not much of a sewer at this point, but it has been in the past. Nowadays, it's pretty much just floodwater and runoff.
Do I have any idea where I might be?
Under the abbey.
Right.
So you hear splashing water from up at the north. You see a wooden bridge ahead of you, and a ledge on the other side. You hear voices indistinctly from somewhere off to your right.
Off to my right.
Yes.
Can I walk down this side on the right, or do I need to cross the bridge?
You would need to cross the bridge.
I will cross the bridge.
The bridge is pretty sturdy and you get across with no major difficulty.
And then I will wander towards the voices, going, hello!
You come to another bridge. This one looks less sturdy. From the state of it, you get the impression that somebody has put their foot through it quite recently.
Well. Do I have to cross this bridge by any chance?
It's going to be a very short episode for you otherwise.
How deep is the water in the sewer?
How deep is the goo?
We haven't checked.
No, we've tried very hard not to.
I poke it with my trusty quarterstaff.
I mean, you're probably a metre off it. You know, so the surface of the goo is probably a good metre below the surface of the ledge that you're on. So your quarterstaff probably submerges maybe 30 centimetres into it, which is good because you probably don't want it further up the handle.
Quite. And there's the definitive hole in the middle of the bridge where someone else has made the unfortunate mistake of falling through.
Yes. The loose plank is still slightly wobbling.
Right. And I can't just go backwards, go back across the other bridge, and then wander along. I have to go over this bridge.
Yes, there is a sort of divider there.
Believe me, if the rest of us could have done that, we would have.
But you are small and light and probably shouldn't have much difficulty.
Alternatively, I could pole vault across the gap.
You certainly can. And that'll give you a bit of an advantage to your athletics check.
Do I have athletics?
Acrobatics, if you prefer. I mean, you've
Yeah.
certainly got them, you just won't necessarily have proficiency in them.
No, I really do not have athletics. You'd think I would, but I do not.
Well, give me an athletics roll
I
with
possibly should have
advantage.
swapped my dex and my strength around, but you know.
Well, it's up to you whether you want to use athletics or acrobatics. But give me a roll
We'll
for
go
Yeah.
for acrobatics
it with advantage.
with advantage.
For your
Oh,
pole
you're being
vault.
kind to me.
I'm always kind.
Do I just roll that out of character mancer, or
Is it still having you in character?
I don't think I can.
She's...
I
No,
don't
she's
think
right.
I
The only thing
can.
that's in roll 20 is a bio or an info. I think.
Cool.
I don't know.
Oh,
We can
oh,
only see
roll
each other's
20,
bio now, so
useless
Oh,
thing.
okay. In that case, never mind. I'll start up.
Okay, leave that one alone for the time being.
Cool. In that case, I'll just roll 1d20, 1d20 times 2 twice. Yeah.
You can actually
Hang on. Now,
type in the
I
formula. but
prefer
yes,
pushing the
that
buttons.
works well.
So I got a 19 both times. So I think.
yep. You clicked back into the character monster and now I can't get it out.
Sorry, I clicked out of it again. Sorry.
There we go. Now I can see it, and let me just see if I can. NPC on and NPC off. There we go. Now, is it showing up properly?
I don't want to open it again in case you tell me off.
I never tell people off just for opening character sheets.
No, you told me off after I opened it.
We all heard you.
I didn't. I just explained what had caused the issue. But yeah, I think it should hopefully work now. Let's see. Do you see anything now?
Well, you showed it to everyone, if nothing
Yes,
else.
I do. Yay! Thank you.
Good. Huh. Roll 20 has been bent temporarily to my will. So
Temporarily.
Don't say that out loud. It'll hear you.
I did say temporarily.
That's okay.
So
then.
you launch yourself successfully across the bridge. And you land on the other side. There is another door and another bit of corridor.
I poke the door open with my stick. And I also, shake the poop off it.
Probably wise. So, do you continue down the... what's name?
I continue down. Oh, yes, down what's name?
Goody good. Just one moment. Just going to upload a thing. No rush. You continue down the what's name. You should be able to move your character yourself, actually.
Let me
But
endeavour
not
to do
through the
so.
door, since they are stupid.
Yes, I can move down the corridor.
Excellent.
Do I need
And-
to move further down the corridor? Or
When
am I
you
at the
get
next?
to
Oh,
the
I'm at the
door-
next door.
You will find yourself
Hello.
peering through a doorway. And there stands a Thaddeus. He spots you.
Hi?
You can't imagine how glad I am to see someone.
And the party
Who are
is reunited.
I'm Layla. I fell down the hole.
The hole?
Yes, I was hired to dig holes and I fell down one and now I'm here. Who are you?
I'm Thaddeus.
Nice to meet you. She holds out her hand to shake.
I'm getting
I'm
such
still-
ducky flashbacks.
I'm still standing by the door over by the altar, kind of keeping one eye and ear towards the door and the other towards you. Doing my best to work as a chameleon. Not successfully, mind you, but
She kind of leans around the corner and starts waving to people.
You don't see any people yet.
Oh.
You see a... what shall we call it? A chapel. There's a sort of altar in the middle with a statue upon it. And actually I can give you a picture of the statue if you wish. We'll get to that later. And there's a couple of stone benches, 4 of them.
Okay.
And then behind the altar, slightly concealed by a middle-sized statue of something horrible, there is a Formula 1 track. No, there is a door in the rear wall. And beside it is Thaddeus.
Oh, so he's all the way at the other side of the room and I'm
yes.
just like...
You should be able to see him.
No, because
Can I-
that's one
can
of those
I
stupid
op-
doors that you can't go through.
Can I open this door that I
That's the
am...
stupidest
No,
door.
is it block? No, it's that one.
Ah!
Now you should be able to see.
Eh. So, which way is out?
Well, the other way. From
You mean-
where you came.
Right. It's really not.
Yes, it is.
Are you sure? Because
Came
I
down
took
that way. We've come down that way twice, so I'm pretty
I
so
took the
sure. Yes.
express route. I'm a little dubious.
Right. Where did you land?
On my arse.
Yes, but did you land in the sewer, next to the sewer, in the corridor?
In the corridor, I then crossed one bridge, then vaulted another one. Who stuck? By the way, who stuck their foot through the planks?
Oh, one of the clerics.
Yeah, okay.
Dwarfs, you know.
Yeah, too bad. They're quite heavy set. So, what are you guys doing here?
Oh, just investigating something.
Alright.
Andrew, has the door opening and shouting happened yet, or is that about
Not yet.
to happen? Right.
It's about to happen as soon as you're done introducing yourself, basically.
Just double checking.
So
that
yeah, I mean,
we're
like, it's nice to see some people. I mean, like, there was no one up top when I got here for my shift. It was a bit weird, you know. There's normally someone about.
Well, one of them is in there. I say, point towards the door.
Yeah, okay.
Two of them.
The
in fact.
other ones should be around. Of course, the bearded fellow got shot in the feet.
Oh
So-
dear.
Perhaps he's resting somewhere. Long story.
Well, I didn't
yeah.
pass him on the way, so wherever he's gone, it wasn't in the sewers. I mean, I can't blame him. It stinks back there.
From your previous work at the site, you would recognise the bearded fellow as Ludwig Beckram.
Ah.
As
Someone shot Ludwig. Are they mad?
Probably yes.
Well, that explains a
Best
lot.
of all, they're actually gone now.
Oh, good. Because I'd quite like to not get shot in the foot if it's all the same.
Yeah, I have the guns of the fellow that did the shooting, so
Oh, good.
should be safe from any more shooting from him for a while at least.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Yes, same I hope. It's been a strange day.
As you do your
You're
introductions, you hear from the other side of the door, "No, don't open the door!"
Bit late.
Now you tell us.
What?
Oh boy.
Turn back to the door.
The doors swing open.
I will, in that case, turn back to. It is Talus, isn't it? The tiefling.
Thalys.
Okay, I missed the H. Halys. And I will sort of, having glanced at the doors, which are opening, I will glance back at her and go, "Why?" And it's a bit late, as Hacria said.
Bon Dieu. You have no idea what might be behind there.
True.
Can't be worse than last time.
Oh, why? Why did you say that? Why would you say that?
Oh, internal optimism.
With pessimistic tendencies, I'll make a believer of you yet. I mean, basically, I am sort of asking, why would you say that? Is there anything that you've just read? I mean, we read most of what was in this room. There's no warnings, and it's a closed door, and I'm not very good at closed doors. But that is under my breath.
You must understand, this is what we research. We believe that behind that door, if what I believe about this sarcophagus is true, then that door protects the end of the world.
Okay. Well, we have
Right.
already, we have already opened the door.
Sarah! Come on, you monkey.
I mean, I always thought that the end of the world was in a box, not a door.
I'm sorry.
Told, anyway.
Who was that?
Oh, hi!
Uh,
Name's Layla. Nice to meet you. I fell down a hole. And now I'm here. I
So
have
you-
no wandering.
you should recognise Talis because she's one of the
You should
Student.
probably move into rooms to actually see who's
Yeah.
there. Because I'm currently hiding behind the door, kind of looking into the room in question.
I'm standing in the middle of the room. I still can't see anything more than...
No, because that's the wrong room. The rest are in the room behind the altar.
Yeah, you're probably best in that room.
Aha! Oh!
What's your thing? You only need to run quicker than the person that's slowest.
true.
Oh
Oi!
crap! I'm the dwarf.
I was gonna say, I can move faster than you because I can just change form.
Always useful.
I can nope the fuck out of there at any speed I please.
Go on, you softy.
So,
So the
Yeah.
person to your left, or your figure's left, is Talis, who's the tiefling who's part of the dig. So you should recognise her.
Over here. Similarly, you would recognise Acolyte Sirius over here.
hello, Talis. I kind of fell down a hole whilst digging one of your trenches. Sorry about that.
Pas de problème. We have bigger fish to fry.
Well, the door is...
I like cooking.
Okay. Door is open. We could try shutting it again. Garrus, is your mage hand still open? We could always try shutting them.
Yeah, well. Are we going to shut the doors?
I mean, you can give it a go. I mean, if doors open, they can be closed.
He says it so casually.
That usually means no.
I know.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, give it a go. But we're
Yeah.
also going to have to try and close the lock as well.
Mm-hmm. Can I use the mage hand to close the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll try that then.
It starts to creak closed. And as it starts to push closed, you notice that even the mage hand is experiencing some resistance. There's mist rolling out, rather like you might get when you open a walk-in freezer.
Oh, joy.
Any ideas? Anyone?
Detect magic?
If you have it available.
Yep, we'll do that.
I could roll Knowledge Arcana.
Yeah.
to see how magical the mist is.
Well, Hacrius, exactly what is it you're looking at?
Actually, a better spell would be. I've got to. Oh no, that's Paladin. That's my other game. Thought about the detect evil thing, but I don't have that.
May I roll Arcana?
You may.
15.
You see nothing unusual about the mist. It looks just like any mist you'd expect to see from something cold. But you get a nagging sensation in the back of your mind that you sometimes see odd environmental effects in the vicinity of certain types of magic. And of course you would know through your work with the Glacis School that this is probably a site dedicated to Glacis Frigelu, the deity of entropy and cold and so on. Now, Hacrius, your detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing magical about the mist. It's just the cold interacting with the air. But you do note a couple of glows of magic over here. Over here. And over here.
Something is out there.
Protects the end of the world. That's not very helpful.
It was until you opened it.
Considering that we said we were coming down here to open a door. Never mind. It's done now. You're saying, sorry, Garrus, your mage hand doesn't appear to be closing it. Does it? Would you like some help?
Yeah.
So, muttering prayers to my deity under my breath, I will see if I can help. If you push on the right hand door, I'll push on the left hand door, and then we'll see if we can close this. I mean, hopefully I will be close enough then to turn the key in the lock, because the key's still in there.
So, anyone else helping you?
I will go and help as well.
As you approach
I'm going to the left.
Yeah.
Right.
As you approach the door, the doors are still... There's no wind, but the doors look as if they're being buffeted by wind.
Oh, goody. Feniston, god of doors and portals to various places, aid us, please.
Okay.
And push. What you up to, you daft cat?
So you're invoking Fenistin.
Well, it's a door I'm trying to shut, and
Yep. And you're
that's sort of his bailiwick.
giving it a good shove.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you and Hacrius to just give me a quick Constitution save.
Constitution. Hang on a sec. Because apparently it's not allowing me to go into my character sheet, so we'll do this old school. 15.
Okay. Yeah, you both manage to take a bit of a jump backwards as there's a bright blue flash from somewhere deep inside the room, and the doors burst open all the way.
Drat.
Just going to check something. Why isn't it?
Oh, you stupid girl. Oh, look, it opens. Whoa.
But why isn't it showing you what's on the other side? Oh, roll 20.
Probably because you manually covered it.
Mm.
Yeah, but that shouldn't stop it. It's set to explorable darkness.
Yes, but it's fog or wonky.
Yeah.
I will be back in a sec. I'm just going to close the overheads because it's getting darker and I don't particularly want insects.
This is the sort of thing that Roll20 is not good at. So that's set to permanent.
They used to be decent, and they did an upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Okie doke, that's better.
it's still
Yeah,
blocked.
you can't help. I'm not eating anything.
Okay, we'll do it the old school way.
Oh, cool.
Now, it still isn't sodding showing anything. That's after manually revealing it. Hey. Okay. I'm going to reset the darkness, which is deeply frustrating, but hopefully it will resolve the situation. Something doesn't. It should be showing you the place on the other side of the room.
Well, it doesn't.
No, it does not. I'm going to try switching to reveal permanent darkness, which makes no sense, but I think it's just balked.
Hmm.
Ah. There you go.
That sounds promising.
Yeah, that does look promising. I can see a shaft of light.
Oh dear.
Yes, excellent. It now works-ish.
Yeah, ish. At the moment, I see nothing. Apart from... What? Excuse me, I wasn't talking to you. I can see my character and nothing else.
Oh, that's a new one.
Whatever you did made it darker.
Yeah, it's reset the lighting or the explored areas for everything else.
Right, that explains it.
So maybe I need to reveal the other areas as well.
I mean, I can't... literally, all I can see is a black screen and Ashton. I can't see sarcophagi, I can't see any of the other people.
Try moving your token.
Yeah, it might need movement
Oh,
to update
yeah,
it.
thank you.
That's all to
Excellent.
me, I noticed.
Can everyone else see something?
Yep.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
that's helpful.
I zoomed out, and now the whole thing's blocked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mark your
see
token, just move
the
it to the square.
beam of light into, like, sort of ish the next room. Is that what I'm supposed to see?
That is what you should
Cool.
see.
Then I can see what I'm supposed to see.
I can see the entirety of what looks like a very worrying thing.
It looks like a chapel.
It does, indeed. Oh,
and-
joy.
There's a sort of light blue-green glow from the altar here,
Hmm.
and there is a blue glow from these two back corners of the room. Other than that, it's pretty dark.
I can't see the two blue things that you'd mentioned. I mean, I saw the yellow circles, but I'm not at an angle where I can see there, but I can see the
Correct.
altar.
You would see the light coming from the corners, but
Right.
not the objects themselves.
No, they are a cut-off dark corners at the moment.
Yes,
There's no light coming from them.
that's because they're inset, and you haven't entered the room yet.
Exactly. I'm being screamed at by my cat, who's
They
now
do that.
sitting in a huff. Okay. Well, that was not exactly helpful. Great. Eek.
As you look in, you see a statue on either side of the door, each of them blowing a horn as if to herald something's arrival. Forwards a bit, you see a lichen-encrusted fountain. There are some chairs dotted about.
Oh, that's what they are. Okay.
There's what looks like a font or something about halfway between the fountain and the altar. There is an
That
altar.
gold thing?
Yep. There is an altar with something glowing on it and glinting off some bits of metal. And there is a large statue.
Similar to the one that was in the previous chapel?
Very similar indeed. Just much bigger.
Hmm.
This one's probably 3 or 4 meters tall.
And I'm assuming the 4 white circles with the grey squares around them are pillars.
They are.
And would the flat rectangles, long thin rectangles, be benches?
They are indeed.
Okay. Well, Hacrius, that didn't exactly go to plan, did it?
Nope.
I don't think somebody wants that shut again. That's joy.
So since it's already open, should we go in and look around, maybe?
Well, if nothing else, to try and stop whatever the force is that is keeping the doors from closing again. I mean, I'll look over my shoulder to where Tallis was and sort of go, although I'm slightly concerned now that we may be starting the end of the world. But we need to try and shut this.
There is nothing for it. We must find a way to close the door.
And at the moment, trying to close it is like trying to close it into the face of a gale.
Pretty much that.
Yeah. With the doors now pushed open, is there anything... Is there still a cold breeze, or a breeze of any sort, pushing against the door? Or pushing against us?
Not against you, no. It just feels like it's quite a chilly room.
Joy.
It doesn't feel freezing.
Yeah. But considering the name of the deity in there, it's going to start feeling cold. I'm being very careful not to name the deity in particular.
Mhm.
Oh well. Holding Feniston to me, I will move a step in so that I'm basically either side of the 2
Ronnie's.
statues, whatever. Well, there's 8 candles. I can't really say there's 4 candles.
Mm-hmm. To either side, the candlesticks by the altar, by the way, are not lit.
Right.
Because this place has been closed up for at least 300 years.
The I can now see an edge of 2 glowing blue things.
Yes.
Do they at all resemble the candles that were the Everlight ones next to the the oldest sarcophagus?
Not particularly. They look like sort of giant crystals. Make an
Okay.
Arcana check.
Oh God.
I'll mention that they're the only things that I felt give off magic.
Okay. I'm just trying to work my way back too slowly. Oh God.
You recognise them as nominally a fairly simple magic, where crystals are imbued with a simple magic that gives off light and lets you use them to light up a room, but they're much larger than most you've seen, and of course they've been glowing for hundreds of years. You assume.
Well, it would be in keeping with when the abbey was originally built.
Indeed.
Okay. I'm not moving too much further, so I will say to Hacrius, so your detect magic didn't feel anything from these two horn blowers that's either side of me at the moment.
Just magic from them too. Nothing from further in the room at that time.
So the two crystals. Okay. I will take one more step in that case. Gingerly. And I will sort of scan what I can see, just to see if there's anything that is obvious about, how you'd like to shut those doors again.
The architecture is magnificent.
That's nice.
Very elaborate carvings everywhere.
Any particular style of carvings? Do this echo the landscape engraving that was on the lock?
Quite the contrary.
Oh.
It looks almost mechanical.
So echoing what was on the doors.
Similar but different.
Okay.
If you imagine these three things: the inside of a watch.
Yep.
Rime frost on windows.
Yep.
And a circuit board.
Intriguing.
And imagine that spread out over the walls of the entire chamber. It's extremely intricate.
Uh-huh. Snowflakes are.
So, Andrew, remind me, did Abigail stay on top?
Yeah, she was staying up
she did.
with Beckram.
Yeah, she was tending him, if I remember rightly.
Because she might be able to help, I don't know.
We don't really have any way of getting her down, so... Well, yeah, true, apart from somebody running up and... Yeah.
And fetching her, yeah.
Thaddeus? What do you think? Thaddeus?
Are you still alive in there?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for asking. Where are you? You're not still in the chapel.
Yes.
That's not very helpful.
Well, if you ain't dead, I'm coming in.
We ain't dead yet.
No
was
obvious
under my
sign
breath.
of impending death.
That was under my breath again. And besides, your knowledge is probably going to be more helpful here.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm bringing my knowledge.
Yo, big brain. Move your ass.
Yes, I am behind you.
Ouch, ow, fudge. Ow.
But there's apparently some sort of pile-up in the entrance.
I will move.
Nobody seems to want to go in.
Well, I'll move
a
to
large
one
chamber.
side.
It is essentially a chapel. Fountain, font, altar, statue, glowing crystals, etc.
Your standard.
I am no expert in in religious matters, but isn't it kind of odd to have a chapel before a chapel? Underneath a chapel?
Well,
Is it
Yeah, I
underneath
guess.
the chapel?
Talis? You're the archaeologist here.
Right. What's the question?
Is this usual? This is not usual from my religion's point of view, but is this something that this particular deity preferred?
It's not something I've seen before, but having a little chapel for the crypt for people to pay their respects is fairly normal.
Not a larger one through the graveyard, though. Unless this is where the main rites were held for internment.
If this was a more important a temple, perhaps, where people would normally not be, or a little chapel for the lower ranks, and a special temple for the
So, Layla kind of wanders over, sticks a nose in the door and goes, God, it's a bit knobby in here, isn't it?
It is very fancy. The carving alone's pretty intricate.
I'm guessing we're not allowed to touch anything.
I'm working on that premise as well, yes.
Yes, would be
Just in case. Although, that saying, we are trying to find something that will allow us to close the door again. Because apparently opening the door is bad.
Is it made out of wood?
No. Copper.
Oh, metal? You want the door shut? Torak now realises where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going with this.
You want this door shut, as in, like, never to be opened again, except with a lot of brute force and ignorance, right? Right? Is that what I'm getting here?
Perhaps not.
Possibly.
maybe.
Right.
Talis? What? Not with us on the inside, though.
Fine. Get out then. Let's leave. Are we done? Actually, before I do this, are we done here? Like, is there anything you want from this creepy room of...
Personally, I am intrigued, but I am certainly not going to be taking anything from this room.
Has anyone, like, thought to go have a wander round, or, you know...
Not as yet, no.
No? Yeah, okay. Well, let me know when you want
from everyone, please.
Sorry?
What?
Perception checks.
When you want the door shut, let me know. And I'll try and make that happen.
Come on, where are you? There you are.
Whooshed! I rolled low.
No, that's not what I want. I want to be back there.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm assuming the left hand rather than the right hand because for some reason it's still doing... Yeah.
Also, Torak, I realised not quite all my spells are on my sheet, so if you see me, like, rolling something, I do have it, I promise.
So, Garrus, you, out of the corner of your eye, you think you see something moving behind the pillar over here. Ashton, as your gaze skims around the room, you see some writing on the wall above the head of the statue at the far end. It's just about visible from where you are. You reckon you can probably read it from closer up.
How far closer up do I think? I don't really want to go... I mean, do I think I could from here? Where am I?
Yep.
Or would I need to be closer?
I think you could probably read it from there. or at least get a decent idea of it.
Well, I'll move 2 there to see.
Okay. And I'm just going to set an aura for Hacrius for his sense magic. So Hacrius, as you get closer in,
Yep.
you see that
Oh, of course, it's still up and running.
there is magic, as you saw in the back corners. There's no indication of magic around the coins.
Yep.
And there's a fairly high concentration of magic on the altar, including, of course, the crystal that's basically...
Glowing.
yeah.
Throbbing. I wonder.
Beacon.
So, Andrew, you said I saw something that I thought was moving.
Yeah, you thought you saw movement down here.
Okay. So I'll draw my gun and I'll move slightly towards it.
Okay. You see nothing now. Well,
So
nothing more than you did just now, anyway. There's no sign that there's anything behind the pillar.
Was there something in particular you wanted me to take a look at, Ashton?
Well, what's on the altar, I think. Don't touch anything, because I am nervous enough.
Mm-hmm.
But there looks to be, from the distance I'm here, a book, a sword, which I'm assuming is the actual sword from the depiction out in the smaller chapel.
It is not. It's a
Oh,
metal sword rather than the giant crystalline sword.
intriguing. I'm still not touching it. I may be curious, but I'm not a grave robber. That would be irrespectful.
Is this a grave?
Well, I don't know, but I'm also trying to be as respectful as I can. But basically, I will mention to Thaddeus, I'm also trying to read what's above the statue, because I'm looking for either sort of any indication that, opening that door really has signalled the end of the world, which I'm a little concerned about. I'm pretty sure my God doesn't want everybody to go through the door all at the same time, because that's just rude and bunching. And also, if there's a way of shutting the door, I appreciate that Layla believes that she can shut the door permanently. But yeah, if there's any indication in here that what is written outside is an actuality, and then we get out
Okay.
as quickly as possible.
Have I read anything about architecture like this?
You recognize it as architecture of an old Palsparan style. For the sort of structure in general, the decorations look like nothing you've ever seen before. The columns are of a style that was common in northern Linody maybe 150 years green.
Right, and that's how long ago? 400 years? Something?
About 500 years ago.
Right. Well, that's text above the statue that Ashton pointed out.
Mm.
Is it a common language or something odd?
Make an investigation check.
16.
Oh, actually, I did say I was looking at that. Sorry. I did say I was looking at that as well, didn't I?
Okay, investigation check from you as well then.
Yeah.
Meow meow meow.
No idea what that is.
Well,
Oh, okay.
as you get closer, you start to get a better look at the walls. They're pretty. The sort of surface texture is pretty gummed up with dust and whatnot, but it's still clearly extremely intricate, and seems to depict, as I say, rime frost and circuits and machinery and so on. The text on the wall is a date, and I would like from you a history check. Yeah, you recognise the date as in the format of the old calendar, and would have been a year just a couple of years before Glaze.
Coincidence? I think not.
You also see a maker's mark, or a cartouche, or something like that, that you can't identify. It's not a mark that you've ever seen before.
Doesn't help us close this place.
I point out that maker's mark to the tiefling. Me and names.
She
Tallis.
approaches
That was it.
with a degree of reluctance, but you get the impression that she, as someone who's immersed herself in studying this religion or cult or whatever you want to call it, that she's sort of falling into patterns that she knows well. So as she walks forward, you get the impression that she doesn't really want to be there, but she's, showing her respects. So she pauses at the font here, drops a small coin into it, and walks forwards and kneels on one knee in front of the altar and bows her head before walking round to look at the mark. I don't know this mark. Evening, Alexander. I don't know this mark. It bears some similarities to some of the old artisans who built part of the abbey, but I really couldn't tell you much else than that. It could have been perhaps a relative or someone from a similar school.
Since you are more of an expert on this particular religion than we are, is the book that appears to be on the altar also to do with this particular deity, or not?
She looks at it and reads a couple of pages, and Hacrius, you will of course have noticed that there was no glow of magic about the book or the font. And she closes the book and picks it up. It is a directory, you say?
Directory.
A directory of members of the church.
Oh! Yes, I know what you mean.
A membership ledger.
It is written...
The registrar of the order.
Oui, exactement. It is written in a very old format, but I believe it is a record of tithes and ceremonies and hatchings, matchings, dispatchings, etc.
Hmm. It's going to be pre your book, I'm afraid, Hacrius.
Fortunately.
Okay.
I am no dwarf, but I do feel like I should take a look at the stonework and try to make out how old this place actually is.
Okay.
So I'll investigate the closest pillar.
Yep.
See if we can get in a sort of sense of the age of the stone.
Mm.
History?
Yep.
I think
Whoa.
I know it.
Oh,
Well-
sorry, I hit a button by accident. Ignore that.
Righto. The design of the columns is from a very distinctive period, about 500 years ago. But on closer examination, you note that those designs have actually been carved into what you assume is an older column. There are elements of the bases that suggest that there was a previous design on them. So perhaps they've just been redecorating, so to speak.
Right. Which, of course, leads me to the follow-up question.
Mm.
How old are the previous chamber?
The previous chamber is very hard to tell, because this is a chamber that had a lot of traffic in the past.
Right. And these walls were undecorated, weren't they?
Pretty much. You notice that you would recognise that style as being a mishmash of styles from, could be anywhere from hundreds of years pre-glaze to maybe 100 years post-glaze. And to be honest, to your trained eye, it looks like it's a combination of all the above.
Right. And the abbey above,
Mm.
have we any inkling of how old that is?
I think we had a date for its inception, but
yes,
then
you did. Don't ask me what it is because I can't remember it. But about that,
But it was after glaze, wasn't it?
it was abandoned post-glaze.
Mm.
What did
So
I
it
say,
was
about
actually-
80 or so?
yeah.
It was actually put in use before glaze.
Yes.
But is it fair to say that the abbey above is most likely
Yes.
newer than this? But is it fair to say that the abbey above is most likely, or are they the
Certainly.
same age?
Parts of it, possibly. I mean, I would imagine, certainly from theological architectural point of view, you're happy to repurpose bits.
Exactly.
So there may have been something here, but then, because it's a sun worshipping deity above, helio. No, I can't remember the word now.
Heliourgical.
That sounds like it.
Heliurgy.
Yes.
My theory here is that the abbey above is to safeguard this and to hide it away.
That's also possible.
Hence my question regarding the different ages.
Certainly the Horrible Abbey that we had had some apocryphal stories about was between 400 to 500 years, and they thought it was cursed. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. We do know that it was abandoned. I think it was 80. Not from us, though. I'd have to go through my notes more. I don't think we've got the time now. Ah, there we go. Been abandoned since, at latest, 80 years post-glaze, 240 years if not more. So, 240 years ago, this particular abbey, as it stands, was abandoned.
Yeah, that new. Yeah, it was more regarding the building dates or redecoration dates. I was thinking about now. That could be something to look into later.
It's a possible. Okay. I am at loss because I cannot see anything that I would imagine would, unless it's the glowing crystal that's on the altar.
Well, I think I might have spotted a door when I followed Tallis.
Yep.
As she walked closer.
You see one door
Actually, desk in
in the lower corner, and one door here beside the desk.
Intriguing. Oh dear, it's another door. Doors
Yes,
going to be my dread.
Question. My thought was that perhaps whatever is forcing the doors open could be located behind.
Ah. Shall we?
Is there any sort of draft in here? Is it just cool?
That's what I'd asked previous, and I was told it was just cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, did feel a bit magic.
Well, there are definitely, from what Hacrius is saying, 3 specific spots where there's magic emanating. I'm intrigued, but
Yes, go have a look.
my curiosity is going to be the death of me one of these days.
Over here, then.
Okay.
Take a short glance at the desk before I actually touch the door.
The desk is an old desk.
Any
One in the
drawers
corner.
on it?
There's no indication that there's anything useful there. It's, tattered old paper, old mouldering books and parchments and maps and things.
Right. The door in front of me, is it a standard handle or is it just a
It's a
push-pull
perfectly
system?
ordinary door.
Yes, but is it a...
It's got a little
Standard.
latch on it.
Right. I should actually poke that with my staff and not touch the door itself with bare hands, given the fact that it might actually be frosty.
It swings open.
Nice. I step inside and take a look around.
It looks like a small office.
Right.
There are some books, there's a desk.
There's some blood splatters on the floor.
Are there?
Well, from what what's been shown to me on the map, yes, by the looks of things.
I think that's supposed to be the chair.
Yes, I'm guessing so as well.
A very broken chair.
Well, it's quite an old chair, I would imagine.
What's the state of the desk in here? Has it started to decompose, or is it...
No, just very dry and dusty.
Right. Anything of interest on it?
Make an investigation check.
22.
Okay. You find... again, there's loads of old books and documents. Quite a lot of it seems to be admin. There's 2 desk drawers.
Are they locked?
Do you give them a try?
Yes.
They slide open.
Against my better judgment, but yes, I
Okay.
do.
One of them contains a set of quills and several bottles of ink, all now completely dry. The other one is lined with velvet, and in its centre holds a closed case. And the case is maybe 12 inches long, about 4 to 5 inches wide, maybe 2 inches tall. It's decorated with pyrographed patterns.
What kind of patterns? Anything we've recognized from earlier around this place?
The main design is just some pinstriping around the edges. There's a debossed snowflake in the middle of it, and at each of the corners on the inside of the pinstriping of the sort of frame, there's a sort of ice crystal-y pattern.
I pick it up.
Okay.
There was one rule.
I thought that.
You pick it up.
Thaddeus, what are you doing?
Oh, just looking.
At what?
Well, that's why I'm looking at it. I don't need to know. It's some sort of case
Well, in that
decorated with a
case,
snowflake.
You know how I was talking about the end of the world supposedly being in a box?
Mm. Ashton takes a step back from Thaddeus.
I turn it around a bit, trying to figure out how I could go about to open it.
I may be doing a run, duck, and cover in a minute.
Layla's getting her hands ready to.
I said could, it's not that I would.
of course, Layla doesn't know he's doing any of this.
She's way over there!
I can hear, you know, I'm not deaf. It's not like there's soft furnishings around here to dull
I
the
imagine
noise.
it's some sort of gigantic cigar case. Am I thinking somewhat correctly then?
Very
Damn.
similar to a
Big cigars.
cigar case. As you turn it around, you find a little catch on the side, and above it, in gold letters, some elven writing.
How convenient. What does it say?
Primus.
Oh.
How very unhelpful.
No, that's extremely helpful if you're going to say that out loud.
I probably am, because that's how I do.
That's the name of the gentleman who's in the sarcophagus that's lit.
Nah.
Huh.
What are you laughing at?
That's odd.
Nothing. This is the player laughing, not the character.
I did say Primus, not Primus.
Pre-marche. Are we going shopping?
On the next door down, it says Primark.
You know those points I keep looking for? The ones that go over my head. Here they are again.
Primark is a very budget shop in this country.
Right.
Yes. It's basically like the cheap clothing shop on the high street.
Very
Right.
cheap
And
clothing.
people give it different names to make it sound less trashy. Like Pre-Marche and Primarch and
Primark.
Armani.
Yes.
Primani, there we go. I mean, the Irish went so far as to rename it entirely and they just called it pennies.
Oh, Primark. Anyway,
Yes. So we have some sort of large case, probably belonging to someone very dead and yet very notable.
mm,
I'm gonna put it back.
okay.
I'm going to have a look at the sword.
Okay. You see that it does have a sort of glow of magic about it. Hacrius, you of course are aware that there is no glow of magic in either of the corners of the room, except something slight and small and oblong about here.
Okay.
On the altar,
Mhm.
the sword and the two knives are both glowing, and the glowing crystal in the middle is extremely magical.
A question on Hacker's behalf. Did the oblong magic shape next to me move?
It was sort of stationary at first, then it got lifted up, waved about a bit, turned around a few times, and then placed back down.
Just checking, I thought so.
Pick up the sword.
So Talis glances down at the knives on the altar, and she says, "This could be an altar for offerings. We know that later on they started making offerings in gold, as you saw. But early on, they made offerings in flesh, which would have been made presumably on an altar much like this one, if not this particular one. There are legends that that the masters of each each group would commission their own knife for the process. These could be some of them. But looking at them, I would say probably these are not special knives, but ordinary day-to-day knives. for the regular services.
So you wouldn't use them to cut up your Sunday roast?
You could do.
You might have if you'd not then decided to give it as a donation to your local deity.
Indeed.
We do have the other door if we are feeling so inclined.
Other door? Oh, that door. I'm getting
I'd
this
like
door,
to-
I'm guessing.
Take a look at the bookcase as well.
Okay.
Let's
There's a
see
book.
if I find anything of interest in it.
You find. Well, I mean, how's your interest in starting a collection of spores and moulds?
Not very.
Then there's
Seems more
probably
like
nothing
something
much
up
interesting.
Ashton's
Like-
alley.
Layla is going to tootle over to this door. Seeing as she's realised we're going to be here a while.
Hopefully not too long. It's more a case of ideas of what on earth is going on here and if there's anything we should be worried about. I'm still a little bit
There's
concerned.
Many things we should be worried about. And,
I will look at door, investigate door to see if it is a locked door.
Door is door. Door has little thumb latch.
In that case, Ashton will take a dagger and very carefully lift it, because I'm not touching,
Door
just
creaks
in case.
someone's sticking by the rules.
open. Door creaks open. Door is door. Door opens into room.
You first. I insist.
Yeah. I thought as much. It is a singularly not open door.
There is nothing but the inky blackness.
Door is not allowing me to look through. I wave at the inky void as it looks at me.
It should be open, so just give it a moment.
Okie dokie.
That's the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it should be open.
Yeah.
Oh,
Finally.
Okay.
Huzzah. Okay.
What can you see?
Well, it looks like 2 tables.
Bookcases.
Bookcases. Is that a leather armchair over there or something then?
It is a chest.
A chest. I am not that intrigued. And what is this to my right?
That is a rack. That might have been, say, a clothes rack.
Right, thank you. I was about to say, what, with shackles? Next to the bookcases? It's a bit messy.
I was
And
thinking the same.
it's got some tools and things on it as well.
Right. Out of sort of curiosity, I will move over to the bookcases, just to have a quick look. I am not going near the chest. If somebody else wishes to have a look at chest, they can. I
I
am
poke
not
it
that
with my
person.
stick.
Bunk.
It's a chest.
Chest. That's my thoughts. But yeah, having a look at the bookcases,
Is there anything
Just-
magical in the chest?
There is nothing magical in the chest. The bookcases are exactly what you'd expect in a storeroom just off a house of worship. There's things like long since dried out bottles and stacks of things that once upon a time might have been vestments and stuff that was day-to-day supplies
right.
300 or 400 years ago.
I thought it would be stacked with Worshipping for Dummies 101.
Maybe they weren't dummies. Ooh, that's worrying. I'm not interested in what's in the. I'm being very respectful. This is not my deity of choice, and I'd like to get out. Hopefully, I will, however, go back over to Talis, just in case she is interested in any of the things that are in that little sort of supply room, because obviously they are here for the archaeological dig, so these may be things that they might want to take note of.
Indeed.
So that's basically what I will do.
She is pleased to hear of it.
I am, in that case, moving back over to the door. If I can,
Okay.
if it will let me.
Layla's just gonna tootle back over that way as well.
Okay. Now, Hacrius, you were looking at the sword.
Sorry?
You were looking at the sword.
Yep.
Anything in particular you're looking at?
Can I see any, if I recognise any inscriptions or markings or...
There are no major markings on it. It's pretty plain. There's a small snowflake sigil, what looks like stamped on the blade just above the quillons.
It's definitely in keeping with the theme in here.
You cold?
No, but the entire place is basically intricate snowflakes. Because that's sort of what the deity is about.
Yeah, true.
It's not a good day. I probably don't want to be picking up the sword. Tempting.
The player inside me goes, do it, do it.
I know. I am staying true to my character.
That's
If I
why
was-
That's why I'm staying well over here.
If I was playing my rogue, this would be so much fun.
Oh yeah, Ducky would have picked up everything in here.
I am going to go check the shrine sarcophagi, see if I can actually read anything on it, or see if there's anything that could in some way benefit from something that might be inside the case.
Okay. Perception checks from everyone, please.
Oh, Fudge, come here.
Okay. Hi, Chris.
Mhm.
You see Sirius, who's looking just completely amazed, reaching out for something on the altar.
Oh dear.
I'll shout stop at him. Sorry.
She seems to snap out of it, turns to look at you, and says, "Oh yes, of course." And as she relaxes, her hand drops onto the altar, and more specifically, onto the knife. Now, I'd like you all to select your tokens.
Yes.
Oh joy.
And if you would, roll for initiative.
Joy.
What? 15.14.
It's got, what's the name, tiebreakers built in.
Initiative. Where are you?
Probably just as well. Considering me and Nicholas rolled the same thing.
Where are you going, you daft cat?
I don't think it rightly knows.
And yet you and
Wow.
Garrus managed to have the same tiebreaker as well.
Wow!
Woo, yeah.
As well as the same dexterity, just to really mess things up. Fantastic.
Garrus can go first. I insist.
No, says Gareth.
Yes, yes, yes.
No.
Yes, yes.
Oh, the downside is we can't do that properly because we're not sort of nodding to no.
Mm.
Points ceiling.
Ah,
They never end today.
singing in the rain.
Right.
The really dreadful bit where they do the.
Never seen
Sound
it.
goes out of sync.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I will shut up. Because otherwise it would be long and
Yes, I
probably tedious.
kind of felt it was the start of a long-winded explanation.
Oh, long-winded? How dare you, sir? I'm riveting.
Thwap him.
I did not say you weren't. Still be
Long-winded.
long-winded.
Someone's got their Chalmers pants on today.
What are you doing, you daft cat? Yes, you. You are a daft cat. Do you know that? Yeah, daft old bugger.
How many cats have you got in your house at the moment?
3.5.
3.5.
Well, we
Yeah,
have,
half a cat.
because it's not our cat.
Right.
Oh, you still have not your cat floating
Yep.
around.
We have, however, discovered that his name is actually Oscar. He's Italian. And he's not going home at the moment because his family house is having an extension done. And apparently we've been told by his actual owners that he does not like the noise, so he's not been going back at the moment.
Fair enough.
So we have half ownership, as it were. Apparently there's him, there's Oscar, and he's got a brother. They were rescued from Italy, the people who were living at the back of us. Used to live in Italy, and they rescued these two kittens.
Oh.
So you have Oscar and Farron.
Now I'm disappointed. I thought you just had made it up to fill out a blank.
No,
That was so much more fun in my head.
sorry. Ooh, that's not good.
What's not good?
I'm looking at the turn order.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's a little better.
How's Torak getting on with our impending doom?
Quite well, actually.
It's fine.
Strike it soon.
And fly. Oh lord.
Yep.
Flying swords
You
and
just
flying
noticed, didn't you?
knights. How wonderful.
Oh crap.
So the
I think
sword
I'm nearest goes first.
that
George.
Hackers identified as magical
Uh-huh.
lifts slightly off the altar.
If she's still living at the end of this, I will be giving Cyril a very severe glare.
Turn her into Special K.
If she's so lucky.
And the flying sword will attack the person who dared touch the altar.
Oh well, maybe she won't get a glare. She could be skewered.
And it misses. Next up,
It would be me.
Ashton.
Sirius. Okay. Fudge. So,
Technically it's a tablet.
it's more a case of trying to work out exactly what I've got, what I can do. So, I could do that. How long is that? Oh, that's a bonus. Okay. Concentration. Meh. It's no good thinking of things like command or hold, because that's not going to do anything.
I don't think they have ears.
Sorry. I was just thinking then spiritual weapon. They could have this weird fencing match in the middle of the temple.
What's to stop you?
That's true.
You know you want to.
I know, I do know I want to. Okay, so I will cast spiritual weapon. If I can find the damn character sheet again. Got it open on a different thing. Where are you? 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 Where are you hiding from me? Don't hide from me. How dare you?
Is it safe?
Okay, this is ridiculous.
What, buddy?
There you are. Don't do that, you silly weapon. So, we'll get that one going first.
Nice.
Thank you. And a large scythe rises from Ashton and moves to intercept the sword.
Okay, thematically appropriate.
Thank you. I am allowed, apparently, if I can go back to it again. No. Shield of Faith is a bonus action.
Yep.
So I will also cast Shield of Faith.
No. Because you can only cast a spell as a bonus action if you have cast a cantrip as your main action.
Oh, that's annoying. So why is it? Oh, it's because I could have done something else and then did that as a bonus action.
Yes.
Fudge. Okay, so ignore the Shield of Faith. I will. Oh well, don't ignore it. I'll have that as what I will probably do next.
Okay.
Give us damage to that
so-
awesome crit with your spiritual weapon instead.
Exactly.
That's true. Thank you.
Just
That's true.
click
Am I
spiritual
supposed to
weapon
now
in the chat.
click on spiritual weapon to get the
Yes.
damage?
In the
Gotcha.
chat.
And
Oh,
then we'll
cast
see
at what
if
level?
it will do the crit calculation automatically.
So I'll cast it at its ordinary level, which is level 2. See whether it does it.
Oh yes, it does that backwards thingy with that spell. It does have some reason, sometimes.
6 plus 3.
Yes. You
That
roll
seems a
poorly.
bit
Yeah,
meh.
because you get an extra d8 for the crit.
Yes, and that's a 3.
Is that okay?
But you roll a 1 on your first d8.
Jesus wept. This is where I should be rolling myself! Not bloody mechanical stuff. Dice. Okay. But hey, that's what we go with. I will stay where I am because I can at least maneuver. I might actually take one step to the side though, so I have a better line of sight. And that'll be me, because I can't really do
Okay.
anything else.
Next up, then, we have Thaddeus.
Yes, I'm thinking that flying metal weapons probably won't react too well to acid, so I'll throw some acid at them. And acid splash actually hits 2
Ooh.
that are within 5 foot of each other, which they seem to be.
Okay.
Both have to roll a dexterity save, DC 15, or take 8 acid damage.
I'm just going to check something.
I have a 60 feet range. I'm pretty certain. it's
You
far
notice
enough.
anything else about that?
Hmm.
Where you're flinging the acid?
Through someone?
Hmm.
Or over someone, perhaps?
I'm hoping for over. So yeah, 8 acid damage.
Or since it's conjuration, I might just as well just conjure it at the spot.
If that's what you would like to do.
Well, my point is I hit the sword and the knife.
So let's see. And that one failed, and this one also failed. So the sword takes 8 points of damage, and you see the surface of it crinkling up and rusting over as the acid etches in, and then it falls to the floor inert.
Ah, convenient.
The knife also sizzles a bit, but then stabilizes and swings round to point at you.
Oops.
I'll be fine. I got more tricks up my sleeve.
I always
Well,
thought it was your arms.
I'm done for
There we
now.
go.
Done for now? Okay. Garros. Also, how did you all end up on 15?
I have no idea.
Right. What do you do? There is a whirlwind of cutlery surrounding a blue crystal.
I'll try to hide behind one of the pillars.
Make a move.
Happy birthday to Hacrius.
And I have one move left.
Yep, you have an action left.
Of an action. Okay.
And a bonus action if you so happen to have one.
Yeah, I can move with my bonus action actually.
I mean, you've got 8 meters of movement left.
You can
I'm more
move
concerned.
6 squares, you move 2. So you have 4 more to move.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything with your action?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about changing weapons, but
That would be an action, wouldn't it? To swap? Or is that different for...
well, isn't that 2 actions?
Stowing a weapon is an action, but you get to draw a weapon as part of your move action. So you can actually change them if you want to.
Okay, then I stow my pistol and draw my sword.
Fair enough.
Huzzah!
And do you have any bonus actions to take, or are you happy that where you are?
I think that's it.
Then we go to Layla.
So, there's not a lot I can do from all the way back here. And the sword's down, isn't it? It's
It
just
is.
the knives. What's the big crystal on the table doing apart from glowing ominously?
Glowing ominously.
Is that all it's doing? Just glowing?
It is.
Right.
It occasionally pulses a bit.
I really want to break it.
I'll be back, guys.
Layla kind of sighs. And goes, there's one rule. One rule. And she makes like Nanny McPhee and like taps her quarterstaff on the floor and casts Shillelagh.
Right.
You have a move and an action left.
True. I can't get close enough to the flying cutlery though. Can I?
Nope.
No.
End up just behind Touchy McFeely.
So what do you do? What do you do?
Can I? I can't charge, can I? No.
Nope.
I'm going to ready an action that if any of the cutlery comes at my face, I'm going to hit it.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to stay right here.
Right. Then we go to Sirius, and she is basically pretty startled. So she's going to leap back a bit and swat at the blade that is flailing at her. And she is going to do that by just smacking it with the shovel she's holding. Which misses. And with that, we move to the flying knives. One of them will attack Sirius. The other will attack Hacrius. So first, we're on for Sirius. Ooh. And that does 3 damage to Sirius. And the other one, Hacrius, what's your AC?
Without the shield, it's 16, isn't it?
Do you have your shield with you?
Have it on me,
Are you
How are we doing?
holding it?
yeah. Probably not while we were doing this, no.
Then what's your normal AC?
The shield, that's 2, doesn't it? So it would be 16, would it? I'm trying to think.
Seems about right.
And it hits. So you would take 3 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Now what you do there, just click your token and you'll see a circle with 32 above it.
Yep.
And just type -3 in on that.
Or just decrease it on the sheet and it will
Yeah,
transfer over to the token.
but it's nice and easy to just do it on the battlefield. So that's the flying knives sorted. Yeah, the green circle, like that.
Oh, sorry.
Now, Acolyte Talus. She swears in Pelsparan and leaps in to try and smack the knife that is attacking Hacrius. So she's going to roll against an AC of 16. Oh, this is. Right. Now, Hacrius, your turn.
Yep. Blessing of the Forge is an action. I couldn't use that and attack, could I? Hello?
Same.
Yep.
Could I use the Blessing of the Forge and attack?
I don't know. Link Blessing of the Forge.
Yep.
Oh, why won't let me actually take it out of there?
If it's under your traits, you should have a speech bubble there that you can press
Okay.
to link it. There we go.
At the end of a long rest.
Yep.
That's something you have to plan out a bit more.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't think I've used it this time, have I? Oh yeah, end of a long rest. Yeah, sorry. In that case, then I will just whack the knife in front of me. Then.
Simple. I like it. Simple.
And you're rolling against an AC of 16.
And of course, since you don't have your shield, you could actually whack it two-handed if you want a bit more power.
I could do
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
No.
Well,
Ow.
you swing round and, you know, you're focusing on this flappy knife thing.
Hmm.
So you sort of miss that your hammer is heading right for the pillar.
Oh.
So you know that feeling when you're holding something and you whack it very hard against an immovable object?
Ow.
Yep.
Yeah, your hands are sore. And just do me a quick perception check while you're at it.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, you notice that there's just... You know how columns are built up of segments stacked on top of each other?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
You notice a sort of dusting of dust that appears to have been dislodged. Speaking of things that appear to have been dislodged, it looks like the stream from Niklas' Discord has remained unchanged for some time.
Discord says it's still streaming.
I was going to say, it looks like what we're looking at.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's moving now anyway. Goody good?
I mean, it ain't that much that is happening, so...
Yeah, we're not leaping around the place too much. But certainly Hacrius and Talis are next to the pillar and...
Yeah. So next up, Darth Maul. The flying sword was disintegrating. And so it is Ashton's turn again.
So I would have put up Shield of Faith, because that's what I'd accidentally clicked on. Although, considering things are disappearing. No, I'd said I was going to do Shield of Faith. And then move the size to engage with the knife.
Okay.
Because I think I can do both of those.
I think you can.
So, back to you again. And
AC
now,
60.
spiritual weapon, so that's that again.
Yep, you hit. Roll for damage. the scythe cleaves the hilt from the blade. And Thaddeus is safe from its predations.
It was never even close to me.
That's the one that was heading for you.
Right. Via Sirius, then.
Yeah.
Check.
Now, Ashton, anything else you want to do? Or that's you, isn't it?
That was me, because it was basically move and attack with the spiritual weapon and throw up Shield of Faith.
Then Thaddeus.
If I'm not mistaken, there's one knife stabbing at Hacrius that's left, right?
Yep.
I'll move over there then to not have anyone in line of sight, and I shall throw some acid. Yet again.
Acid?
Okay.
Cool.
So Dex 15 or 8 damage. And of course, if they make the save, they take no damage.
Exactly.
Since it's a cantrip.
Whew. They just save.
Bugger.
Such
They
is
rolled
life, I'm
15
afraid.
exactly. Anything else you want to do?
No, I'm done.
Garros. There is one floating knife left.
Can I reach it from where I am?
You can go move 6 squares.
Okay.
It's currently zooming around about here,
Yeah. Sort of.
but
Taking
they're
on
extremely
Hacrius.
mobile.
Right. Then I'll go and I'll attack it with my sword.
Make your roll.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Just to give you some tactical information regarding combat in general and your class in specific, you always want to flank it, i.e. have a ally on the opposite side, and that's something that Garrus as a character would know due to basic rogue training. So you'd actually want to place yourself a bit further up to have the
Like
sword in between.
Here?
Yeah, I suppose so, if the dagger is now floating between Garrus and Hacrius, Andrew.
Works for me.
Because that gives you 2 things. One, it gives you advantage, which means that you roll 2 d20 and use the higher one. 2, it lets you use your sneak attack.
Sneak attack, good.
It's kind of the bread and butter of the rogue, so yes.
Yes. So should I click the sneak attack?
No,
Or-
you should start off with clicking normal attack, of course, with advantage, and see if you hit to start off with.
With advantage, what?
Click your weapon and take the higher of the 2.
Yeah, you'll always roll with the options. Yeah, that's probably too low. I mean, 11 and 9 isn't much to write home about.
Have you selected sneak attack on your sheet?
No.
Do that.
There isn't any proper option for that.
Yeah,
when I
it
play
should
rogue,
be- it's added there as a
It is.
yes,
bonus.
but
So if I do that again.
That's more like it.
what?
So make your damage roll. And that's the 3 plus 4 rather than the 6 plus 4 because it rolls the crit as well.
And it was a crit, since he has advantage.
Oh yes, so he does. Yes, so
6 plus 4.
yep. The
Well,
knife is very
17.
worse for wear. Huh?
It was 17 damage. It's all of that. The 6 plus 4 is the normal critical attack. The 3+4 is the sneak attack.
Ah. Fair
Sneaky.
enough.
And don't you have more than one die sneak attack if we are really piling it on?
We'll have to look into that. But for now, the knife.
Say the knife is dead.
Yes,
I would have said so.
the knife
It
shatters.
says here 1d6.
We'll look into that.
That
because if
seems
you
a bit
can get
low
more-
for the level rogue you are.
Yes, you actually go up 1d6 on every odd level.
Ah.
Ah,
So I suppose it should be 3d6 or something like that for you? Not knowing exactly whatever you are.
Garros is level
4.
4.
Then it's only 2d6 for now, but
1 and
still,
3.
still more than one.
I think what I might do is, at some point, just have a sort of general level amnesty to get everyone up to roughly equivalent levels.
That could be wise.
Mm.
I don't want everyone getting curb stomped. So yeah, after this I think everyone who isn't level 5 will be increased to it. So, you have destroyed the knife. Do you have anything else you want to do?
Not particular. No.
Right. Then, 'tis Layla.
But all the cutlery is down, isn't it?
Yes. But I would like from you a perception check.
Uh-oh.
$11.
You notice movement in the corners by the blue glowy crystals. There were a couple of things that you assumed were statues.
Oh, goody.
And these statues of suits of armour, about
I'm having a deja vu feeling.
about the height of a dwarf, come to life. Now, as I said,
The statue's behind me.
well, the statues
No, in the
front of
corners.
you.
The what I'm staring at.
The ones
No.
next to the blue crystals.
So these ones here.
No, the one that buggered off.
There's one there
Oh,
and
there they
one
Okay.
there.
I'm blind. Leave me alone.
Her Nick literally is blind as a bat.
There's surgery for that. I've tried it.
Yeah, I'd need an awful lot of surgery. Trust me. And it's not worth it, and it's too expensive.
Also, it involves people coming out your eyes with pointy things.
Nope, 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 la la
As
la
in,
la la la.
I'd have to have surgery to begin with, so I could have the laser surgery. And the first set of surgery is really fucking invasive, so no.
Right, I only had the lasers.
Yeah, I'd have to
Ugh.
get both my stigmatisms corrected first, so and my lazy eye. You know, and considering they've tried to fix my lazy eye twice in the last 30 years, then it's not
I
stuck.
get
So
the point.
yeah,
You're screwed.
I'll stick with my glasses and blindness.
Basically, eyes are my big nope button.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a big statue that's just come to life, and I'm guessing
No.
it looks angry.
There's 2 small statues.
Ashton, on your left.
What? Oh no, not again.
They're little suits of armour, about 3 foot tall.
Yeah, Layla's just gonna run in and smash it in the face with her shillelagh.
Well, they're your size, so why not?
Finally, something I can hit.
Go
I'm just
for it,
giving
you
you a little
mad
tricky
pet
choice.
fool you.
Happy day. How the fuck do I hit with my shillelagh through roll
You little
20?
barbarian, you.
By moving up to wherever you are, so we know where you are. That would be helpful.
Whee! In the face, mate.
So you should be able to click on
That's
shillelagh.
what they look like.
Ooh,
Right.
little burny
You
eyes.
should have Shillelagh on your attacks and spellcasting in the middle of the first.
Ta-da!
Should I?
It hasn't.
I do not.
It has not been turned into an attack action. That's why.
No. No, it is not.
If you quickly edit it, then click the I behind the name of your spell in the cantrip list.
Yeah,
Click the cog wheel to edit
Yeah.
it.
I know how to edit. I just need to know what I'm editing.
Yes. Change output to attack.
Go.
Type in the damage.
1d8, is it?
Yes. Just have to think for a wee while. And
Plus spellcasting ability.
yes, click the add ability mod to damage or healing,
Cool. And
and
then
that should
it
be
is-
everything. At least.
This thing is bludgeoning damage as well.
Yes. It is smashy,
Cool. Edit.
and then it should show up under
Mac.
your attacks and spellcasting.
Yay!
I did. No, that just rolled 1d8 damage. That didn't roll
Yes.
to hit.
What
Oh no, because I rolled it from the spell page again, didn't I? Dumbass, come on. There we
Nope.
go.
Still something
Oh.
not right.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
rolling a flat
Sorry,
1d8.
I know why. I checked my cantrip, and it has another sort of attack. Go in, edit again. On the output, you have spell attack, and that's set to none. Change that to melee.
Cool. That should fix it, yeah?
Yes, I hope so.
Hit
It's
him
kind
with
of,
a shillelagh if it doesn't. Hit him with a shillelagh if it doesn't.
Yes, but I still bloody missed.
yes, but it works as it should now, at least.
I just have this lovely image now of Layla going, "Hit, stand, still, you bugger!"
Pretty much.
Probably right over its head due to it being too short.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
just,
Sorry.
she's pretty smart.
I'm just looking at spells. Sorry, wrong thing.
I still have a bonus action, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. No. No. All of my healing spells are bonus action.
Mm. They are useful though.
Well, I'm gonna get smacked in the face now, so because I can't hit him again. So I guess that's me done.
Then we move on to Sirius, who
Who started all this? I'm going to be having.
turns around, sees all this faff going on, and she is going to make her way in the general direction, and she is going to launch an Eldritch Blast at this armor. Because Eldritch Blast is always good. And that's a hit.
Better than your mage did.
Well, the problem with my mage was that ridiculous rule that if somebody is prone and unconscious and right in front of me, for some reason there's disadvantage.
Yes.
What?
My thoughts exactly.
Someone unconscious isn't broken.
This is
And
what I tried to tell them.
Bizarre.
I.
Mm-hmm. And now the flying knives I remove. Talus will also trundle over there. And she will fire her crossbow at the one in the corner, in this corner. So she's rolling for that one and misses. Hacrius.
So I can move 6. Can I arm my shield as part of my move action?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 6 squares? And it's a 1.
Do you have 30 speed? Don't you have 25?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, so I move 5, do I?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 5, yep. And I am going to cast. Where are we? Guided Bolt. Oh, why don't you not click now?
It might be asking you for a level.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, I was going to catch the second level. Might be why. I presume that hits then, doesn't it?
I believe so.
17.
Certainly does.
Yep. So if I cast it at second level, it needs 5d6. That will hurt it.
Just press the guiding bolt text.
Alright.
It will roll damage for you.
Yep, that would have helped. But, yep, 21 damage then.
So that is going to make a bit of a mess of him. And it was the one in this corner you were aiming at, right?
Yep, yeah, the one directly opposite me, yep.
Then he is dead.
It's kaputted.
And moving on, I'm just going to sort this. Descending, roll 20. There we go. Now we get to this one, and it's going to take a swing at Layla with its long sword.
Duck!
Long sword.
Kirstine, what
Yes.
is Layla's AC?
15.
Evening phase, thanks for the raid. Yeah, that is a hit.
Ouch.
Ow. My face.
Not the face, not the face!
And that's 8 points of damage.
Oi!
That's a big
Oi,
thwack.
oi, oi, oi.
Ow. I think she should have extra AC for cuteness.
I have things to boost my AC. I just hadn't activated them.
Go Freckles, go Freckles, go Freckles, go Freckles.
Mostly because I thought the swords were it, And then when I
Uh-huh.
saw them getting obliterated, I went, it's fine, I'm not gonna start throwing spells at this. It's wrong.
So then we move on to Ashton.
Okie doke. So Ashton's going to move. I can move diagonally.
Mhm.
So if I move to there, as in 1 square or 5 foot, am I in a point where I can see the dwarven statue that's attacking Layla?
As I say, it's not dwarven as such, it's sort of
No,
half
but-
scale.
Okay, so the half-scale statue that is attacking
Hmm.
Layla, in which case I will then direct the scythe that way.
Alright.
But
And
the
we'll-
scythe only moves 30 feet, doesn't it?
I thought it was 60. Oh, no, it does, doesn't it?
The
And I don't
range
actually-
of the casting is 60, but
60,
the move
but
of the
Is 30.
everywhere. Correct.
So, I don't... Well, it would have been next to here, wouldn't it?
Next to
Or...
where?
Where? I can't remember the last place that I attacked
all the
something.
way over the altar, by the altar.
That's what I was thinking. So
Where Garrett's
that's,
standing, actually.
that's too far, isn't it?
Yes, it's at
Yeah,
least twice.
10 squares. Okay, so in which case we will revise what we were doing. And we
I mean,
will...
30 feet, that's 10 squares. So,
No, it's 6 squares.
No, 6.
no, 30
Square
feet
is
is
5 foot.
10 metres.
The square is 5 foot.
No, these squares are 1 metre. I have the settings. And metric
But
is just
why?
better.
Yes, metric is better, I agree. But not when the bloody game is in
In meter,
funny
not-
sizes.
This
Yeah,
game
it's in
isn't,
feet.
because I've fixed it. And made
No,
it
but
better.
you didn't fix all the spells.
Well, one thing at a time.
So, okay. Regardless of the two of you arguing over metric versus imperial,
But we're in agreement on that bit.
Yes.
I was going to say
We don't
it
like
is
funny
still,
numbers.
It's still too far for me to get the scythe over to the demi scale.
No, it's just right.
No, it's 10 meters. And
Yeah,
you have
so-
30 feet, so you can actually reach it.
I can reach it.
Yes.
Right.
30
Oh,
feet is 10 meters.
I don't do math.
I don't do sounds
Not as
in
far as I
a
can help it
written
anyway.
word.
But I did it for you, so just whack away.
Okay. So, spiritual weapon. No, what am I doing? Wrong place.
We
Wrong
do
place, wrong
maths,
place, wrong
We
place.
do maths so that Ashton can do thwax.
Thank you. That'd be fine. Spiritual weapon. Ooh, that's not going to do it. 11, as we discovered, does not hit. So, there is now a scythe, but it's sadly waving itself in its face.
So there is a flailing scythe.
And a flailing shlailing. However,
You still have an action.
I was going to say bonus action. No, that's spare the dying. She's not dying.
Well, moving the spiritual weapon was a bonus action. You have your proper action left.
That's true. My thanks. I'd forgotten moving it was a bonus. So I could do. 'Cause she's within. She's within distance of me. I could do healing word. Yes, because that's it's a first level.
No, because healing word is a bonus action.
It's also touch, is it not?
No, healing word is ranged, but it's a bonus
Healing word
action.
is ranged, but I don't have to do it just as a bonus action. I can do it as an action, surely.
As far as I know, no, you cannot.
Really?
It is not interchangeable.
Wow. Okay.
That seems silly.
Yes, but it's probably due to some sort of game balance, I assume, not having a proper clue, why they would do it like that.
That's weird.
Well, in the absence of a reasonable explanation from Mr. Gygax, let it henceforth be ruled that bonus actions can be used as normal actions if you have one spare and don't know what to do with it.
I am happy to accept that as a house rule from my GM. So, in which case, healing word is 1d4 plus 5. So, why isn't that? Apparently the game doesn't like the fact that I'm trying to do that.
Hit it. Tell it
You
to do as your turn.
Probably have a
Oh, no, sorry, you're right. It's cast at
level
what level?
prompt. Yeah,
So, cast at
for some
first
reason
level?
they tend to hide whenever they can.
So, Layla, 9 points of
Yeah.
healing.
Thank you.
And, yeah. The healing word will be... Heal thyself! Bing!
See,
Actually, I
Dr.
need
Watt, you're a
one.
physician this week as well.
Wow.
I was quite pleased with that. A week-old reference with ancient Greek philosophy references. I mean, that's got to be bonus points.
Quite.
And that will be me.
Garros.
Okay. Am I in line of sight of the animated armor?
You've got the magic ruler.
Hey, objection!
Mm.
You skipped 2 of us.
Oh, yes, of course, you were just chatting.
Yeah.
You two talked so much that I thought you were taking your turn.
No. I was healing her.
Then Thaddeus.
Yes, I move over there and, well, since all my proper spells are so very generous in their area, I shall satisfy myself with just throwing some acid on their armor thingy.
Fizz Fizz.
His face.
So DC 15. Before you ask, I may use it on several, but I don't have to.
He fails.
Then he takes 7 acid damage.
Yes, he does.
He's looking a bit pockmarked.
I'd hope so.
Basically, what you've done is you've gone down into the crypt, and now you're seeing Thaddeus's etchings. Layla,
Frog,
or
come
did
and
you have
hit
any
the farm for
bonus?
me.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Boop.
That's a thump. Roll for damage.
Woohoo! That's a much better thump.
That's a big old smack in the face.
You know golf?
Please tell me the helmet's just gone flying across the room. Please, please.
I mean, it doesn't go flying across the room because it's in a little alcove, but it goes flying to here. Then it bounces back.
I was just saying, it would be more like a ball in a flipper game.
Yeah. If you get the angle right, it might go ricochet more than once.
Mm.
Hey, Ashton, catch! the
Actually,
helmet comes flying towards you.
Considering my scythe is there, we could do a rather weird version of Pong. Beep! To you!
To me.
Yeah, I mean, like, if possible, like, if I smash it so the ricochet bounces and flies towards Ashton so he can try and catch the helmet.
She.
Sorry.
No worries. I may use the scythe to bop it back, but hey.
Yeah, just give me a quick dex roll, both of you.
Okay. Oh, do.
Just straight dex.
Yeah.
Hang on.
10.
No idea what that is.
That's a dexterity save.
Oh, 8. Oh, is it? Oh, fudge. Sorry.
It's probably the same for you anyway. I don't think you're proficient.
I was going to say I have a 0, so
Yeah.
what you see is what you get.
Well, I think I can tell you why you failed to catch it. Because Layla's kick, bounce, throw, whatever it was slightly off. So you sort of jumped for it, but it just
No.
went outside
sorry.
your grasp.
Lands in the fountain.
3 helms in the fountain.
Oh. You're getting worse.
No,
If there is such a thing.
there is no worse.
There is a ugly soul.
I don't know if that even got picked up by the microphone. Anyway,
Lots of swooshings. That's better.
normally, of course, I have voice mod to do that for me, but it's not working.
Oh.
So I have
It's
to do it
also sad.
myself.
That's fine. We can follow.
Man,
Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
So anyway, the armour has been decommissioned. And you are out of initiative.
Oh, thank God, I thought the giant glowing crystal was going to do something then.
I was going to say, I was waiting for something else to start up. We've got the 2 horn blowers there, we've got the other big one back there. I was really sort of waiting for the next one.
Yeah, there's part of me that wants to go and smash the other 2 statues just to be sure.
I'm going to keep an eye on them. Can somebody tell off the person who's... Please? That would be literally a sort of... Can somebody scold the person who started this? Because I didn't notice who it was.
Acreus,
Yeah?
just give me a quick intelligence check.
Oh God, I'm bad at these.
It's not a difficult one.
No pressure.
Under pressure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, that's alright.
nicely done.
It occurs to you.
We should do more backing tracks.
Yeah. It occurs to you that when you saw a glow of magic in the corners, the glow might not have been just from the lighty-uppy crystals.
Okay.
Animate statue.
Yeah. So with that knowledge, and knowing that there's nothing else in there that's glowing, you feel reasonably certain that nothing more is going to come to life in the temple and start running at you.
I'll relay that to everyone else then.
You also recall that there are still 2 magical objects in here. There's the crystal on the altar and the object that you saw in the other room.
That's the one in the case, isn't it? Then?
And in regards to that object, I was heading towards the fancy chest with the lights on them. So I shall commence with that.
The fancy chest with the lights on.
Yes.
You mean the sarcophagus?
Yes, the one in the corner with candles.
Yeah.
The ever lit candles?
Yes. Is there something on it? Some sort of lock or latch or cutout or anything like that that we failed to notice earlier?
There's a whacking great stone slab.
Yes, I'm more kind of thinking, is there some sort of locking mechanism?
Not that you can see.
Not even if I look very, very carefully.
Make an investigation check if you like.
22.
You find absolutely no sign of any locking mechanism.
Alrighty.
As far as you can tell, it is just a stone box with a very heavy stone slab.
And some ornaments on top.
Yeah.
What, they're candles, yeah.
Yep.
Now, the rest of you, what are you doing?
Ashton will be asking if anybody is injured.
Sirius is injured. Hectus is injured.
I will offer, but I know Hacrius, as another cleric, could heal himself, but I will offer some healing, should they either of them wish it.
I'm good for now. Thank you.
Sirius?
She tells you that she received a light wound.
So if I do another healing word, that should be reasonable.
Yes. That should be adequate.
There. I don't want to be there. I want to be there.
I'm going to try and have a look for my book, I think.
It's 8 points back to her.
She is fully restored. So what do you do? What are the rest of you doing, looking for?
I'm
Go.
going to try and find the other half of this book, I think.
Okay. Where are you looking?
Let's have a look in the storeroom first.
And just to be clear, what you're looking for is the other half of the book that you found elsewhere?
Yep. That wasn't the book we were needing, was it?
Make an investigation check. There's a lot of
Have pictures.
there's a lot of old things there. Some books, some papers, but mostly, as I say, supplies.
I like it when they illuminate scrolls. It looks pretty. Probably have a look. Is that like an office at the back then, is it, or?
Yeah.
Might as well go and have a look in there as well.
It's like the sort of parish office.
I'll have a route in there as well then.
Okay. The bookcase is pretty much moulded to buggery.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, I'm going to go out and try to close one of the doors.
Okay.
Just to see if I get the same sensation of something pushing against the doors to stop them closing.
When you give it a push, it feels pretty much like it's being buffeted by a hurricane.
Okay.
Perception?
Mine or the people in the room?
Yours.
Mine. Okay. Oh. 20?
You notice that every time you push it, the crystal glows more.
On the altar.
Yep.
I'm still all in favour for smashing that.
I'd rather not if we can avoid it. I don't like the idea of desecrating another deity's temple.
I mean,
they get
could
really
we-
stuffy.
Should we pick it up and move it to a different room?
That was what I was wondering.
Get the mage hands to pick it up and move it to a different
Also
room.
what I was thinking.
I like you. You're sensible.
I'm thinking the same feeling. This is quite considering a few of the people I've been travelling with. This is quite refreshing.
That's what happens when you're a farmer, my dear, is you end up thinking about the easiest way to do things that save the most effort.
Most of the time I'm working with the dead, so they don't tend to argue, which is quite useful.
Yeah, I suppose that would probably be a one-up on most people. Plants don't really argue back.
True. You okay? Thankfully, two of the people have... Well, one's disappeared completely. We don't know where he's gone. And the other one's gone off in a fit of pique.
Well, whatever floats the boat, I guess.
So,
I have some
Andrew,
friends that
Yep.
might be along at some point.
this pile of money,
Yep.
is it on a table or?
It's in a font. So like a big stone pedestal with a bowl in the top.
Okay. So, Darius is going to take a handful.
Okay, how big a handful?
Well, he's not that big, so he doesn't have that big hands. But as much as he can manage.
Okay, you grab money. I mean, none of it's current legal tender, of course, but you grab a fistful of coins that is about equivalent to 10 gold pieces. So 10 modern monies. But you can
Tempting,
note
but
that
I'm a
down in your
cleric.
inventory rather than your money, because it's not, as I say, currently tender.
So
Just not jot down old coins worth 10 GP.
There's a treasure box on the bio page. That's a good place to write stuff like that down, since it's pretty much exactly what it is.
Exactly. Let me just check something. Yeah, they don't notice. And Thaddeus, make me a perception check.
Percepzione. 13.
Yeah, you notice Garros pocketing some of the cash.
I am unsurprised.
And by the
That's
sound of it, unconcerned also.
Well, since he kindly let us faff about on his boat, I feel it would be
Thanks.
unkind to mention it.
And also nobody else is using it.
Well, that too.
At this point, Ashton will probably come back in and say, so, it definitely looks like it's the green glowing thing on the altar. Talis, do you mind if we try carefully moving it?
Talus is over by the desk.
Okay, I will go over to ask. I'm not proposing to break it because I'm not going to do anything to another deity's objects, but if we could move it into one of the offices so it's not directly in the path of closing the doors.
You want to what?
Move the green glowing crystal so that we can close the doors again.
I don't see why. Just move it, right?
Yes, I'm not intending to remove it from this temple because that's what it feels like. I mean, even to the point of if the altar is solid, putting it down the other side of the altar so that it's not directly impacting on the doors.
Just checking. You would not be removing it, right?
No. Only, hopefully, moving it so that it can't actually stop us closing the doors again.
She looks a bit reluctant, but then shrugs and if you think it would help.
Well, sadly, it does appear to be the thing that is preventing us from re-closing the doors. There's obviously some enchantment that is. I mean, I appreciate Layla has her plan for permanently closing the doors.
While this is happening, can Layla be examining the doors to see if there's anything that marks as to what the enchantment might be, tying the crystal to the door?
You can do.
Because the other thing that will be happening is the locking mechanism has to be removed. So this room will be sealed completely. Or you can negotiate with the automaton upstairs as to holding on to the lock for a little longer.
You are as a cleric. I am an archaeologist. I will defer
thank you for that.
to your expertise on the matter.
But the other thing I am letting you know is once we do manage to close these doors and lock them, we are removing the lock completely. Because the lock itself, as
Apparently,
a particular...
these doors should never have been opened to begin with.
Very well. In that case, Abigail will be very happy that she will be able to return the locking mechanism back to the Crimson Keep.
Before we go, I'm going to cast Identify on that case.
Okay.
Do you have a pearl?
Oh, is that what you need, is it?
Yes.
Then no.
Well,
no,
worth
I'm
at
not
least
going-
100 gold
Not good.
pieces and an owl feather.
Yeah. Yes, not going to
Well, the
cast
owl
that one.
feather can be. You can use your focus instead of that, so that's the easy bit. But the pearl is the annoying part.
Yeah, and no. Oh well.
Garros,
Yep.
make me an insight check. Or anything else you think might be useful for valuations.
Yeah, we don't have a praise,
And
do we?
with advantage, because you've been working trade and stuff.
For some obscure reason, everything tends to default to history in 5e, which is kind of boring.
So what
I would have
insight?
said insight.
Insight or history if you prefer.
Dan could have helped there.
You would estimate the value of the remaining coins to be about 140 gold.
Okay.
So, Hacrius, you start casting Identify, but you just realise that you're not getting anything from it.
Yep.
All you can tell is that it is magical, and there's a bit of weight to it.
I'm going to take it with me, I think. Then.
Okay.
Meanwhile, at the door, what do you want me rolling? Trying to. I said I was trying to figure out the connection between the crystal and the door.
Yep.
What do you want me to roll?
Make a...
Dodecahedron.
Let's call it Arcana.
21.
Ooh.
You recognise that the crystal is something with a great deal of power affiliated with cold, and that it's selectively affecting the doors.
And I was trying to figure out how to break this connection. That's what I'm...
You are fairly certain that if the crystal is removed, it will no longer be able to affect the doors.
Cool. I go look for Ashton and say, "Are we moving the crystal? Because I think it'll."
Oh, good, because that was my thoughts. Because having watched it, the crystal's the main thing that's pushing against these doors. So
Yes, I wanted to make sure it was going to work before we started
that's always useful.
fucking with an angry crystal that's already sent cutlery in our direction.
Yeah. How solid is the altar? Is it a solid piece of marble or granite or whatever?
It certainly looks solid. It's hard to tell whether it's actually filled in or if it's a solid piece or if it's, 4 sides and a top. But it's not on legs, put it that way.
Okay. Because what I'm thinking is try a simple thing first and literally ask Garros to use his mage hand, because I would imagine this is going to be quite cold to touch. I don't really want to do that. See whether we can move the crystal here on the floor, so that the altar becomes a buffer between between the crystal and the doors, and then see if it's possible to close them. If not, then again move it into one of the side rooms. So I don't want to move it out of the temple, or the temple ambiance, as it were. But moving it just to here first, because if that's all it takes is sort of the break between crystal and door eye line, then that works. Does that make sense?
Yep. The rest of us exit then. So
Yeah. I'll stay here. If Garrus doesn't mind giving a hand. Literally.
I'm like standing the other side of the door.
So Andrew,
Yep.
you mentioned that the rest of the coins was worth about 140,
Yep.
but in Identify it says a pearl.
Yeah. This isn't a matter of identifying things.
No,
This
okay.
is just because you were looking at the money and
Mhm.
grabbed a bit and just telling you how much is left.
So, are you asking me to remove or move the crystal?
Yeah, if you can use your mage hand, because I'm worried that it's going to be freezing to touch, so I don't propose us physically touching it, but if your mage hand can cope, moving the crystal from there to on the floor behind the altar, stage 1, and then somebody outside trying to close the door. If it works, that's great. We leave, we go outside, we close the doors, we lock it, we take the locking mechanism off again. If it doesn't, then we have to find out whether we can move it further away. That's my plan,
Alright.
anyway. So at the moment, it's your mage hand, if you don't mind, moving that crystal to behind the altar there.
Alright. I'll try
Mage
that.
can lift 10 funny numbers.
So, and you're all standing where you are now?
I am. I was asking everybody else to leave. Because if nothing else, I want to be able to provide some sort of cover and or support to Garros, seeing as it's my idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll move as far away as I can and still.
You would actually have to see where you're putting it.
Oh dear.
You can't.
So
It'd be tricky.
I'll
Possibly
have
here?
to be. Yeah.
Talis takes up a
Maybe
position
here?
next to you,
okay.
hefting her weaponry.
So that should give you eye line for the green glowing thing, and hopefully still be able to see where you're putting it.
Funny question in this 11th hour kind of situation. Does the crystal seem to belong in the hands of the large statue?
It's one of the reasons why I didn't want to put it anywhere close to that, if at all possible.
I'm not intending to do that. I'm just curious if it seems that they are a match.
Looks like it to me. Yeah, it's at a different angle. If you turned it 90 degrees to the right, I think it would fit. So we're not doing that.
Go on.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, we're not doing that
My plan.
at all.
I was just curious if that's...
Right. As curious as I can be, Thaddeus, take your curiosity out of the room, please.
My curiosity is out of the room already.
Good, good, good.
I was more thinking, should we move
No.
the crystal further away?
Oh, I see what you mean.
I was going to put it in the store cupboard personally, but that's
Well, yeah, it's probably not a bad idea to go to Plan B first. Because that, yeah,
First, we need to test that the mage hand can actually pick it up on its own.
that's true. Garros,
Try and pick
see
it
if
up,
you can
please.
at least pick it up.
Yeah, I'll have already cast. I'll try to pick it up.
Okay, so you pick it up.
Oh, good. Right, in which case, ignore putting it here, and put it in here.
Yeah. Well, you pick it up,
Uh-oh.
and it lifts about an inch off the little silver stand it's on. And, Ashton, make me a quick perception check.
Oh boy.
Who? Everybody?
Just Ashton and Garros.
Oh, God.
Oh dear.
16. I wish I had advantage.
Yep.
23 would have been nice. Oh,
Right,
there we
good.
go. Garros, thank you.
Yep.
Take the 23 I was hoping for.
Well, you both hear,
Oh, God.
as does everyone else, but they're much closer to it than you are.
Uh-oh.
Click.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
The sound of a couple of very heavy stone slabs sliding aside.
Oh, goody! You're all in the room! Or is that in the... No, that's meant...
So, those of you who are outside...
I'm at the door, it's fine.
Uh-huh.
Of course you are.
I am.
You're
I'm
standing
literally
there
standing
at the door, and to your left and right, you see the heavy stone slabs on a couple of sarcophagi slide open.
Put the crystal down, put the crystal down, put the crystal down!
Crap.
And,
Don't think it works that way anymore.
Nope.
I think we know why some of the sarcophagi was open.
Oh,
I mean, you've
That's
made
true.
some friends. And that's what really matters, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
uh-huh.
So, off to one side comes this chap. And off to the other side comes this chap.
I can't turn my character around. The little box, you know, like the little box thing that you can use to drag it around.
Yeah,
is
it's
just-
fiddly.
If you put up pictures of the chaps in question, it's not anywhere we can see it.
It's in the temple. So you lot are outside, but I'll move them over to you as well.
No.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, lovely.
So, you know, two happy chappies that are really not happy that somebody's apparently trying to filch their super secret crystal.
Not filch per se, just move so we can close the doors.
I'm sure they will be fascinated to hear the distinction.
Acreus, you're up, because they're in with you, I'm afraid.
And so I'm going to ask you all to select your tokens. And once again,
Bring forth the list first.
yes, that's right.
It's sometimes wonky. It
Yeah,
usually
this time it
works.
worked.
At times it's stupid.
Ooh, somebody's rolling well. I'm going to have to eat sometime soon.
I mean, Garrus, you really
Oh,
don't
geez.
seem to like being on your own. Always matching someone.
Mhm.
I like going last.
I'd be glad
Well
to
written.
oblige.
It's
So, yes.
I'll be back in 2 secs.
I mean, there's no rush because we are going to leave it there for tonight.
Oh, right, okay.
I really thought you were going to leave the crystal there for a while.
And leave the doors wide open.
If we'd have been able to close the doors without moving it, yes, we would have left it. Hey ho.
I still say I should have just smashed it.
Oh, that could have been fun. Okay.
And now I have to keep quiet about what I was going to say once we were out of this place. Just because that's player me and not character me.
But you can tell me in a DM,
Yeah, but that's not even half as fun.
which is for me.
Enjoy.
Because I want to hear the collective head palm from the rest of the group when I tell them.
Oh boy.
I'm sure
But-
they can be relied on to not metagame.
No, I promise. I'm reasonably good at
Yes,
keeping character and player
I
apart.
know that most probably could, but I don't know if all could, and that's why I don't want to play this.
I can, thank you for it. I have this entire bloody game.
I find it curious that you snorted that up like you did, because I'm not worried about you. It's actually the guys I'm not that certain of, because I haven't quite figured them out yet.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, great.
Drama.
Time to go get something to eat then. Probably going to be nukeable now, considering the time.
Mhm.
Right. Well, thank you.
And next week, yes, next week should be fine, unless I'm working. Let me check. At the moment, I'm not working next week, but there is a boat coming in, so I might be. We shall see. But as things stand, next week you will encounter your new nice friends.
Oh, good. I'm hoping they're squishy.
I mean,
Well,
they're
I shall
priests, and
Hopefully bring out my new third level spell that I couldn't use last combat due to it being a bit generous in the area.
Well, you do now have room because
Yes.
most of us, I think, are behind you.
Well, no, technically everyone is in front of me.
Depends which way you're facing.
Well, the way I am facing, I have Hackers next to me and everyone else in front of my face.
Okay.
But both my attack spells have a 5 feet AoE, which is at times annoying
Mhm.
when it's too crowded.
I mean, there's nothing to stop you telling people to bugger off.
Or duck.
Duck does not quite cover it,
Hey, well.
but as we are standing right now, I could quite easily place it in such a manner that you are safe.
That's always nice.
Yes. I hear that people tend to be annoyed if you torch them.
Just slightly.
Oh, bugger, I realised I actually rolled 16 in the original initiative, didn't I? And then re-rolled it for some reason.
Never mind.
You can actually edit your own initiative to
Alright.
the correct number.
And I
But you
can
did
edit
say you liked
everyone's.
going last.
I didn't see I'd rolled it twice, actually.
Oh, yeah, you have, haven't you?
And at times, Roll20 gets wonky, and that will double for every turn because Roll20 is occasionally
Weird. Right. Well, thank you very much, boys and girls. That was fun. Fingers crossed we still survive. If not, my lord and master Feniston will be happy to greet you in the afterlife.
Yes,
I'm sure they find that deeply comforting.
I find it deeply comforting.
Thaddeus' approach to the Linnaday pantheon is a bit like Rincewind. If he doesn't bother the gods probably won't bother him.
It's not a bad thing.
I mean,
No.
it's kind of hard to ignore them when they're actually existing as far as we know.
It's like
I'm
cats.
very vocal.
They don't bother me, I don't bother them.
Absolutely.
I get on quite
Anyway.
well with cats.
Have fun, guys. I'm going to go and get myself something to eat because I am definitely hungry now. So,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Here and all
Catch you
Bye.
next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks for putting up with me.